Hi there, welcome to Win or Lose. Today I have found a friend. I have friends. Hello friend.
Hello.
This is Kane mate, and he's been a long time sufferer of playing against me. Not because I win, but anyway, today we are having a bit of an experiment. We are playing Horus Heresy, but not like you know it. We're going to be using this rules. Not this actual book, because the book's on the other side of the table. I forgot to bring it over. But we're using Battlegroup, and we're going to use it for our Horus Heresy game. Okay, so we'll talk you through roughly how Battlegroup works as we're playing. So if you do just play Horus Heresy, you'll get an idea of this. And just to see if this works. So, yeah. So, you up for this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Looking forward to it.
I've dragged him. He's been wanting to play Star Wars Legion, but I've said I've got to get this out of my system. But yeah, so we'll give this a go, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so we'll have a look at each other's armies and we'll go from there. Rightio, so today I'm playing Alpha Legion. I don't know really the points. We're kind of not doing a points game with this. We've just thrown down stuff that kind of looks the same. So I have brought a Demi Company, which is 3 tactical squads and a support squad, led by a Decurion. I've also brought a Recon Marine squad with sniper rifles, a Terminator unit, nothing much more than what you see there, and then a Vindicator laser destroyer, Carey's assault cannon, Contemptor dreadnought, and a Land Raider Achilles. And the unit, because we want to test out, I've got a few ideas how we can handle Primarch combat. So yeah, there's Alfarius. So that's my forces for today. And this is Kane's army, everyone's favourite legion, Ultramarines. So just to go through, Kane, a bit like me, you've got a Demi Company there, which is, I'll try and put my finger, Sport Squad and 3 tactical squads.
3 tactical squads.
And a Decurion. Proxied by a Chaplain.
Yeah.
Yep. You've got a Recon squad up there, armed with bolters.
Mark 3 Recon squad.
Yep.
Got Dreadnought with dual carry assault cannon. Vindicator.
Yep.
The siege cannon.
Demolisher.
Cannon.
That's it.
One. Predator with water cannon, dual heavy bolters. Whirlwind Scorpius with dual bolters on top. And big old girly man at the top.
There's the girly man. And yeah, that's the forces today. Right, so this is the battlefield for today. It's a industrial complex, obviously some sort of mining some ore that's important to the loyalist war effort. Alfarius is coming along to sabotage things. I think we can safely say Girly Man's not going to allow it. For this scenario, we're using the Recon mission from it's the first mission on the from the Battlegroup rulebook. We have 3 objectives marked by the moisture vapours for Star Wars fans there. One there, one in the middle, and one here. The way we go, we fight until we break. One player loses their morale rating, reaches 0, or reaches 0, and that's either done by destroying units or claiming one of these objectives. So, yeah, that's the battlefield for today. Let's talk tactics. So, so we've looked through the armies, we looked through the battlefield, and we had a rough idea of the mission. So, tactics. I'll go with mine first. Now, even though we've got very similar armies, the way it's going to work is to kind of represent chapter traits, legion traits, should I say. My guys are going to take, when Kane wants to do direct fire at me, you have to do a thing called an observation test. He can only then proceed with the direct fire if he passes it. Obviously, shooting an Alpha Legion beyond a certain range bracket, which we're going to say 15, he will suffer a further -1 to his observation test. That's the Alpha Legion trait. The Ultramarine trait will be he gets +3 orders a turn. Because in this game, you don't get to activate everything every round. It depends upon a dice roll. So I think in this game it's 2d6 in it.
Yeah.
Orders. I think it's 1d6 or 2d6 orders. We'll look that up in a minute. Plus how many officers we have, which is 2 each, and then Kane will get a further +3 on that because he's an Ultramarines player and they all listen to each other. That was their like special gene splice ability, better ears. So yeah, I think tactics-wise, I've got a lot more direct fire going between my vehicles. I would say I've got a medium mortar attached to my Land Raider Achilles. So, but I think my plan is just to, typical Alpha Legion, push up a little bit, stay within that lovely sweet spot of just out of 15 inches, and just try and keep the stealth on and just shoot him down while he has troubles trying to observe me back. Okay, what do you reckon for yourself?
Given what I'm up against, I think for the moment I'm just going to have to try and push, but sort of cover everyone with each other as well.
Yeah, you've got to close the gap.
I've got to get quite close to you to be able to really hit you.
Yeah, and you have got the Scorpio, so you have got. Yeah. Your ability to launch in direct fire is far greater than mine.
Oh yeah.
So I think, even though you want to close the gap, I think you've still got a lot of.
I've still got a lot of long range to cover my troops as they advance, but I need to get a lot closer to.
Yeah, and I think
anything.
so, and that's the same thing. Even though I want to keep away with you, I've got to really get up and close the gap with that Scorpius and try and take that out quite fast. Otherwise, that's going to give me a whole world of hurt. And hopefully we'll have a bit of Primarch fighting.
Oh, there's going to be some Primarch fighting.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be good to see a girly man get his head chopped off.
Please.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So anyway, that's that. We'll start.
And so let's begin the battle. The Alpha Legion, myself, won the initiative. And in this game, we don't have a traditional deployment phase. In this, the board starts blank. First, your recon units roll on, and then each turn you roll for reserves, and then that's how the rest of the army piles on. That's like a very generic way of how Battlegroup rolls. So when we roll for recon phases, some games have some scenarios have X amount of turns. In this, it was D6. And funny enough, we rolled a 1. So in our 1 recon phase we had each, both the units came down, grabbed the objectives closest to our corners, causing each of us to take a battle rating draw. And what that is we draw a token blind which has a number on it. Wherever that number is, we deduct from our battle rating. In this game, both our battle ratings are 32. Whoever hits 0 battle rating is out the game. So once both of our units claimed the objectives, we just pushed up, both trying to then push on towards the centre objective. Kane's units did. Mine was just my snipers were trying to move for a better firing position to try and stop him doing that. So, anyway, then we get into turn 1. As I have initiative, I roll for my reserves first. I score a 6, so I bring in 3 tactical squads, a Vindicator support squad, and a Decurion. Kane rolls a 3, so he brings in 2 tactical squads and a Predator. And as you can see, that's how my army's lined up, ready to push on. The idea is the Vindicator is going to take the central fire, with both the units, both my tactical units pulling around. One to try and take the centre, the ones on the left flank to take the centre objective, and the ones on the right to take to go after Kane's. Kane on his turn pushes up with all of his units, the ones that came on. The main thing that happens here, as you can see, he's about to move his Predator tank. The Predator tank takes the first firing of the match. Aiming at my centre tactical squad. He managed to score 5 hits. I only managed to save 1, and I lost. He fired them, and I lost 2 guys. From that shot. Whenever you take casualties, you have to take a morale check, which these guys duly failed. Which also means they're pinned, which means in my following turn I can't put an order on until I spend another battle rating token to unpin them. Also, his recon squad then also advances up to the perimeter of the oil rig. Fired at the centre tactical squad. Scoring 5 hits, as we see there, and Yeah, I only managed to save one of these, so I lost a whole whopping another 4 guys. So that was a really bad thing. The only thing that kind of went to my favour was I have to take another morale check, which has a chance of me routing and fleeing. Luckily, as you see here, I passed it. No, 5, they're okay. So they stay pings, but nothing worse.
Okay.
Both me and Kane,
I get
when it comes
2.
to reserve rolls at the beginning of this round, I only managed to
each.
score 2.
So
As we can see
if I
here, I bring in
I'm
my
gonna do
Contemptor Dreadnought
the Dread
and my Land Raider Achilles.
and the
Kane brings his Whirlwind Scorpius and his Contemptor Dreadnought.
uh,
Land Raider, the idea of
Land
my
Raider
Land Raider,
Achilles
it's my
there.
turn first, so the Land Raider Achilles is the idea is
Push
going to
up.
push up on the centre flank and support the
Plug that
battered
a
squad,
hole, and
while the
maybe
Contemptor
just protect that
Dreadnought
infantry unit
supports
a
the
bit more.
right flank infantry push.
And Dreadnought there to support that group
Kane
round there.
positions his Scorpius at the back, basically to provide covering fire, because all his infantry units have Nucino Vox, so they can all make observation checks for the Whirlwind. And his Contemptor Dreadnought is pushing on my left flank. I get 12 for my for my orders.
So
the first thing I do is the Land Raider
this
Achilles
tank's
fires
firing
at the
at
recon squad. But sadly I failed my
so I need a free
my
bus.
observation roll, so couldn't proceed with the shooting
No.
on that.
So my next order is
Next up is the tactical squad, just pushes up, trying to use a bit of the cover of the rig. The recon squad moves back into its initial position and opens fire on Kane's Ultramarines recon squad. I managed to score 3 hits. As you see, I passed the objective roll. 5 dice.
So that
I
unit
scored
firing
3
that one.
hits.
Successfully spotted, so 5's to hit.
Which then Kane manages...
3 hits on you, mate.
fouls them all, which causes 3 casualties, and he also fouls his morale check, which makes them
3
pins.
dead.
So that was a great start.
If you want to take a pin,
You know, it was after the Land Raider debacle.
that's all you want from the unit.
And the beauty of this game is, as you can see, Kane gets to choose which of the models are his casualties. He turns that guy up the other way just to represent his pins. As you can see, my Vindicator pushes up right up against the ore rig to try and ambush his Predator. That infantry squad pushes up. The idea is to go take the higher ground with the Contemptor Dreadnoughts within support.
Yep. To unpin that unit.
And then I draw a 4. Basically, to unpin that the centre tactical squad that took a battering within turn 1, I draw a battle rating token. And what that means is you draw a token and then D6 units can unpin. As you see, I got a 4. I took a 4. So, not a good start. We can see now we begin with Kane's turn. He gets 11 orders. He pushes his tactical squad, as we can see in the centre here, going after the centre objective. Next is his Predator, which he pushes up, and he's going to try and make a shot at my Contemptor Dreadnought. He successfully spots it, successfully hits it, and successfully blows it up. I took 2 BR for the death of that, because every time you lose a unit, you have to take a battle rating token again. So now my total BR is -9. Not good. The left flank he just pushes forward, supported by his own Mortis Dreadnought. And then the Scorpius, when we get to it. So, there's the Contemptor Dreadnought pushing up for his infantry. Then next up is his Scorpius Dreadnought, which lets rip on my Land Raider. As we can see there, very big overarching hit. I believe he uses his recon squad to spot. He managed to successfully spot. Rolls plenty of hits, but none of them actually get through his armour, which causes it to basically be pinned. See, I use those figures to represent like the crew bailing out a little bit. Now the rest of my reserves comes in, which is Alferis and the Cataphracti. Kane gets 2, so he chooses his Vindicator and Guilliman. As you can see there, the idea is Alferis is just putting on the centre, because basically I'm going to hunt for Guilliman. So I wanted to know where he was going to go. So now we roll for orders. I get 7 orders. First thing that happens is this tactical squad here pushes up,
like so.
and then opens fire on his centre tactical squad.
First they've got
So there we go. Yep. See, successfully spot.
Yep.
Big handful of dice.
So I need 5s to hit.
And I managed to score 6 hits.
So,
when Kane rolls for his armour saves, he manages to fail 3. So 3 casualties, which then causes a morale chest, which he fails. So then that unit becomes pinned, as we see there.
Are pinned.
Alfera starts moving up. My basically idea is to headhunt Gilliman.
I haven't.
And then the Terminators also push up basically to relieve the battered centred tactical squad. Basically, that squad just got hit up too much. It's not going to claim anything on its own. Next up, my laser Vindicator pushes up, takes aim at the Predator. Because the Predator fired, pretty much I can't anything but 1 basically to observe it. So I managed to do that. And then what we do when we go to the armour, we compare the armour rating against the anti-tank rating of the weapon versus the armour rating of the target. The front armour is K, and the anti-tank rating of the Vindicator is 8, which means a 5+ on 2d6 to destroy it. 1 dead Predator. And then finally, the last thing I basically did was my far right flank tactical squad just basically pushes up onto the top part of that oil rig. Now to try and swing round into the oil rig tank. So it gives me options to either claim the centre objective or go for Kane's objective. So now we get into Kane's turn. He gets 9 orders. His far left tactical squad advances and fires at the Alpha Legion under the rig. So then we see the ones we can spot there.
Yeah, you can see me. So right, that unit
scores 2 hits.
So far scored 2 hits.
And I've lose
4+ save.
1 guy.
And morale check.
But doesn't cause them to pin. They managed to save their morale.
Beyond the call of duty.
Then what happens next is, because I get a 6 from my morale, this is called what you call a beyond the call of duty, which means then the squad has to take an experience check. If it passes, it gets 1 action back, which obviously I choose to shoot back at that unit. I kill 3 and pin them in the process, so that I, can't say no to that. Next up, he pushes his dread and fires at the same unit, but fails the observation check. Next up is the Vindicator and Gurney Man. Basically use their whole activation just to push forward. Finally, the dreaded Scorpius fires indirect at the same tactical squad. Sensing the pattern here, bit of bullying. He scores 3 hits, which I lose 2.
2 dead.
But luckily I pass the morale.
Yeah, it's alright for me. So
both of us take a battle rating to unpin our units. I get a rating of 1, which means mine now battle rating is -10. So if I take another 22, I'm out the game.
Right, so how many units can you unpin? 6. So
as all my reserves are on, it was just down to Kane to bring his reserves on. The Land Raider fires at the tactical squad underneath. Fails. Fails the observation roll. The centre tactical squad then pushes up and takes the objective, which then forces Kane to take more battle rating. Another battle rating draw. The Terminator move in to assist the centre attack squad, holding the objective. Best to place recovery fire. The recon squad then fires at his recon squad. Passes as their observations.
5 dice.
Managed to score 2 hits.
2 saves, Kane.
But sadly, you can see their K saves them all.
Right.
On the far right, the tactical squad basically moves along the gantries. Kane gets 14 orders. The support squad basically hunkers down behind the wreckage of the Predator. And then his centre attack squad fires at my attack squad that's holding the objective. He then directly fires at that unit, scores 5 hits.
Nope.
I lose 2.
try the plus.
and then duly fail my morale check. So that's not a good state for that unit. Taking casualties
2 dead.
and is pinged.
2 dead. Pinning check. 1, they're pinged. Yep. They are pinned.
The tactical squad on the far left pushes up.
So you just move in that one, so there.
I'm going to shoot.
Oh,
And again opens fire on that unit. Scores 5 hits.
That's a miss. That's a miss. 5 again.
I pass all but one.
1 more.
Luckily though, I've passed the morale check, so that unit does not rout. And then finally though, the Dreadnought pushes, you see moves into centre, gets a nice, lovely clean line of sight, and wipes them out.
That unit there.
Look at that failed hope there.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. They
Gone.
are gone.
But then when I draw for my battle rating for losing that unit, I get confusion. What that allows me to do is place it on an enemy unit of my choice,
Can you take a morale check for
and
us?
then he has to take a morale check. Sod's law, he passes it. I mean, this is one of the great things about Battlegroup, which is that even though the battle rating things, even that there's not, you can sometimes pull things like a mine attack, aircraft strike, or something like that. So it's not always bad towards yourself for drawing that. And then finally, Vindicator and Girly Man push towards the perimeter of the rig. And his far tactical squad moves up. Bit slack in there, really, Supported by his Decurion. And then finally, the centre tactical squad claims the objective.
These guys move down, went across
Which
into
makes
that
me have to take
objective,
then another
which then
BR
forces me
rating
to
pool.
take another
I draw a
battle
pool
rating.
3. So, which leaves my total at minus 14.
Yep.
Basically,
So,
this is
quick recap.
beginning of turn 5.
These guys move to there.
Alfarius pushes
has
up
moved
on the
to there.
centre,
So I'll just do the last one.
forever after Gilliman.
Yeah.
Also try and scare a few Marines
These
along
guys
the way.
pushed up.
Tony's advanced, tried to shoot at the tactical
failed
squad
to
holding the middle,
observation
but
check.
failed to observe.
These guys tried
The
to
recon
suppress
squad
fire.
also failed to do anything
unit
to that
here.
same tactical squad.
Failed to
On the left
suppress
side of the rig, the
and
Land
failed
Raider
to, observation check.
fired on the attacks holding the centre,
so
scored 2
this has
hits, but
opted to
passed all
let
the
rip on them.
saves. So
Scored
so
2
far,
hits, and
not
he
the
needs
most
4 to save.
productive of rounds. But
Made
then I
enough.
do fire the mortar from it directly. I managed to kill
mortar
2
rounds,
via that, but
so
they passed them around.
1
so
dead.
not
Morale
great.
check for the last one.
The other
So
tactical
unit
squad that
was
moved
up
through the
here.
high ground used the rest of its
Spent both their
movement
actions.
to push forward and
down
into
here.
well within the inside the royal rig.
So tank, move to here.
My Vindicator
Take a shot at
fires at his
Spotting.
Dreadnought.
Yep.
Manages to just ping it,
Yep.
followed by the support unit yet again, just basically keep using that Vindicator as cover. Because the last thing I want to do is get shot up out in the open. As for Kane's round, his first action was
so far,
the
these
tactical
guys
squad here tried
suppress
to
Alfarius.
pin down
He
Alfarius,
failed,
but
he's fine.
failed to do so. I mean, the tactical squad in the
Shooting
centre
these
fires at the
suppressed, but
Terminators,
just fired now.
manages to kill one.
Managed to kill one.
He's like the far tactical unit pushes forward.
So that range, 1 dice, should be about 3.
And then followed by the support
he's
of
fine.
the Decurion. Next up, Girly Man charges Alfarius. So the way we're doing Primarch fighting in this is we're using a system similar to Infinity, like a D20 system, taking out the martial art rules, but the idea of this is the Primarchs know all the martial arts. So we both secretly choose a number which dictates modifiers to our dice roll, D20 dice roll. We roll under the modified target number, and we have to roll, and the way it works is it's an opposed roll, so we have to roll under our target number but higher than our opponent. Girly Man chooses to basically do a decapitating hit, and I choose to just do a standard attack. I failed, and Girly Man managed to score which caused me. We both said for this game that Primarchs have 3 wounds, so that hit took away 2 of my 3 wounds. So yeah, Alferis is down to 1 wound. Not so great for me. Next up, Kane's Vindicator fires at my tactical squad on the gantries, but luckily fails his observation roll.
Tank. They fired at that unit there, but failed to spot
Next,
them.
the Scorpius fires at my Vindicator.
That just let rip. Fired down on that. And it's just gone boom.
Causing it to blow up. 3 BR for that, which leaves me on a lovely 17 BR. This round starts off absolutely marvellous for me, with Girly Man finishing off Alfarius. When a Primarch dies, we've said in this that basically you take a flat 5 BR for just the death of that, to represent the price of failure rules from 30k if you lose your Primarch, and then you have to take a BR draw on top, which was then a further 2. So this left my total at minus 24. So yeah, Girly Man really made this go from absolutely bad to worse. My Land Raider turns and fires its sponsored weapons and Girly Man, and then fired at but misses. I then fire at the Vindicator and managed to actually score and blow it up, which was really, it was because he came flipping it. I don't know what he does there actually. I think he's supposed to flip it over. So what happens is when I destroyed his Vindicator is when he drew BR, he got beyond the Call of Duty. Because they're simultaneous, he fires back with the Vindicator and pins my land at my Land Raider and pins it. My Tomies then tried to charge the centre objective, but failed their experience check. Next up, my gantry tactical squad then tries to shoot down at him, but fails their objective test.
Fired, managed to successfully hit, but did no casualties, and they passed them around. And then we move around here. That unit you see right up there wiped out the unit that was behind.
At this point, my phone dies. But really, there wasn't really much left of this game. Basically, the summary of what happened in the last 2 turns was Gilliman charges my Land Raider and Julie punches the thing to death. What this basically done, I forgot to draw what I got, but it literally put me right. Oh yeah, it put me up to 31 BR. My tactical squad finally manages to charge. My Terminator squad charges the center objective, wipes out that unit in close. That last man in close combat takes it, but Kane's Dreadnought then moves around and lets rip on the tactical squad on the gantry, wipes them out utterly, which then causes me to take my final BR and knocks me out the game. So that was the Heresy Battle Report. I just want to say thank you so much for watching it up to this point. I know there were some real audio issues, and the format, it didn't turn out for what I had in mind. I've got a picture of how I want to do battle reports. That was like the first baby step to where I want it to be. So I hope you do enjoy it. But I can promise it will just get, the futures will be a lot better. That was one of those days where nothing was going right at all, and the whole making from start to finish of this video has been a nightmare. But the point of this channel is to persevere and get content through, regardless of the obstacles ahead. So yeah, thank you so much for watching that. But yeah, my thoughts on that game. That was the first go of the Heresy Battlegroup. We made up a lot of the stats on the day. We came up with a formula a conversion formula from 40 Horus Heresy stats to Battlegroup stats, and that's what we kind of use for that day. I will put up a document as this video goes out. Will be a conversion document on the Win or Lose Facebook group for other people that want to give this a go. But yeah, I found it really enjoyable. I've got to admit, I found it enjoyable. I was kind of thinking that this was going to be the ultimate answer for future games of Horus Heresy. But really, it's not. I still find that the proper rule set has its uses for the smaller games. What we was playing would be probably equivalent to a large game. Well, semi-big to a larger game. And what I can see is that this battle group idea might be really good for large multiplayer games with a real reenactment or historical value to what happens, say, in the novels. But as a pick up and play, pitch battle style game like the normal Heresy is, the Forge World rule set still is better for the job. But me and Kane, we really enjoyed the game. We felt like the Primarch combat needs a lot of tweaking. We felt that was a little bit too sudden. The whole idea of using the D20 affinity style system was to make something a bit more cinematic and a bit more dramatic, and it was just like for Alvarius, which was not good. It actually plays off like the 40k, the Horus Heresy rule set, because that's what generally happens when in Heresy, where you have Alvarius and Guilliman. So proud that it happened just like the proper rule set, but not the actual outcome that we wanted. So that's how my carrying on. We're going to carry on making the rule set for I think it's Escrador. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's the battle between the Ultramarines and the Alpha Legion. I think, and sorry for spoilers, but it's where Alfarius is killed by Guilliman. We're going to carry on working on that as a battle group supplement, and we'll see how we go from there. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching that. If you've got any comments or ideas of how I can improve these battle reports, please, I'm all ears, because I want to make future battle report videos, really enjoyable for all. And thank you very much. And remember, win or lose, it's all about just having fun.